Hey, yo, what's up, YouTube, man? It's your boy, Ashton Jackson. And in today's video, we're going to be talking about the Dallas Cowboys being active at the trade deadline, trading for two players that are going to be here for past this season. They're going to be here for the foreseeable future, past the 25 and 26 season, 27. They're going to be here for about at least 2 to 3 years. And that's what we've been needing. So before we hop into the video, I would appreciate if you guys would like the video, subscribe if you're new, comment, and share my video with anyone who you think will enjoy my content, man. So if you guys haven't been seeing it, I'm going to talk about the big move first. The Dallas Cowboys trading their 2026 second-round pick, their 2027 first-round pick, which they said that they wanted the higher pick of the two between Green Bay or Dallas's, and we're trading away Mozzie Smith for all-pro defensive tackle, one of the top 5 best interior defensive tackles in the league, Quinnen Williams, man. We got Quinnen Williams, and I'm so happy because this now changes the dynamic of your interior of your defensive line. And this might even consider a scheme change in terms of, instead of us running a base 4-3, we're probably going to have 3 defensive tackles on the field, meaning Kenny Clark, Osa Odighizuwa, Quinnen Williams, and then we'll roll with an edge guy on the outside, whether that's Ezraku, whoever the case might be. But I really love this trade for the Dallas Cowboys. The number one thing is because Lord knows how long we've been bad at trying to establish this position. You know, we threw a pick at Mozzie Smith. We got that defensive tackle from Arkansas. I forgot his name. We cut him in the offseason. They call him Big Country. I forgot his name. Talking about he was wanting to break necks. I forgot that defensive tackle's name that we drafted him. We drafted him in 2022 in day 3. It didn't pan out. We drafted Quinn Bohanna. We drafted Villian Fehoko. We drafted a bunch of interior defensive tackles, and Mozzie being one of them. We spent that Mozzie Smith draft in 2023 is haunting us right now on this team, and the reason why your team depth isn't the way it needs to be. And really, if Mozzie Smith was able to come along, this trade doesn't happen. But we really needed Mozzie Smith to come along, right? But that draft was the first time since 1991 or 1990 when we drafted Russell Maryland in the first round. That was the last time that we spent a first-round draft pick on a defensive tackle. Now, my biggest thing is if you can't figure out a position, you're just bad at drafting wide receiver, you're bad at drafting corner. Go either sign one in free agency or trade that capital that you were going to use on a corner and go get that. So I like that the Dallas Cowboys would have made this move. And what I really like about the trade also is that, okay, cool, you gave up your second-round pick. How many times have we really hit on a second-round pick? Let's be realistic. Marshawn Nealon didn't hit. Sam Williams is not going to hit. Donovan Ezraku is one of your players that I believe is going to hit. You have Trayvon Diggs, who's on the downside, but he was a damn really good player for those first few years. So that's probably something that, okay, call that a wash maybe right there. But Kelvin Joseph, you just think about all the second-round picks that we've acclimated to this team. They just haven't panned out. Chido, Jadobia Awuzie, that's 2017. Jalen Smith in 2016. We've just been terrible in the second round. And that's just been in the past decade, you know what I mean? So we've been really bad at the second round, so I'm not really upset at getting rid of that pick. And that 2027 first-round pick, I'm happy. You know why? Because now you still have 3 first-round picks. Now you got you a dude that can change the interior of your defensive line and alter in the way in which defenses play you. And now this is somebody that seems to have to prepare for, right? Now with Quinnen Williams being able to, he's one of the top-ranked in beating double teams. Now, when he's eating up a double team, now you're going to have Osa Odighizuwa who can go back to possibly and prayerfully being able to beat those one-on-one blocks and be able to get back into the sack category and affect the passer in that way like how he used to prior to the Dallas Cowboys paying him, right? Now that frees up room for the other trade that we made. We traded for Logan Wilson for a 7th-round pick, and I did talk about that in my trade deadline video. That if you're going to make a move at the trade deadline, I need you to make moves for players that are going to be here for the foreseeable future. I'm just not trading for players that are going to be here on 1-year rentals. It isn't. The way that this team is constructed and how bad this team is defensively, we are not in that position right now to trade for 1-year rentals. So to have I talked about the Logan Wilson contract. He's going to be here until 2028. He'll be a free agent in 2029. So he's going to be here for the next 2 to 3 seasons. So I'm really happy about that. And the way, and also another thing why I'm really happy about these trades that we both made is that we made them during the bye week. So now these players are going to be able to have that time to rest. Not only that, but acclimate to the scheme and have those guys be here. But having a Quinnen Williams, that's not an overpay. In my opinion, that's not an overpay because you've been terrible at that particular position for so long. We needed to make a move for a player like that. Now, I like what you did at the trade deadline, but this trade deadline move doesn't mean anything if you do not parlay this with 2 things. If you don't participate in March is going to be here before you know it. It feels like it's damn near already December. I know November just started, but soon enough, by the next time the Dallas Cowboys play, it'll be November 17th. And then you got and then the week after that, you got to play Philly. The same week, you got to play Kansas City. So right around before you know, by the time Dallas Cowboys play more football, it'll be about Thanksgiving. It'll be December. However the season shakes out is how it shakes out. But you need to parlay this and be super aggressive in free agency. Like I said, these trades right now are telling me that they're trying on paper, and what I'm seeing is that they're trying to maximize the Dak Prescott window, in which you should, because you know that Dak Prescott isn't going to play for, he says he wants to play for another 10, 15 years. However, that's cool. He says he doesn't mind playing into his 40s, depending on how his body holds up and everything. But even if he wants to play that long, you still have to think about the future of your team. And right now, we don't know who the next in line is to take for Dak Prescott's spot. That's something that we're not even really going to think about right now until we're thinking about it. It's in the back of our head, but we know that that's a little bit of ways, and we still have some time to think about that, right? So I love this move in which we made for both Logan Wilson, giving up a 7th round pick in 2026, and then you gave up for Quinnen Williams, you gave up a 2nd round pick in this year's draft, 1st round pick in next year's draft, and you offloaded Mozzie Smith. And you got rid of Mozzie Smith and you brought back an all-pro proven player. That's what I love, man. So again, what does that mean for the draft picks going in 2026? We're not drafting on Friday. We're still gonna, I'm still gonna be doing my draft content regardless. But just to let you know, we are not going to be drafting on Friday. We're not going to draft in the 2nd round. We're not going to draft in the 3rd round. I'm not going to be mad at that. Why? A lot of people will be like, well, you shouldn't have given up any of your picks in day 2 because you really need to hit on those picks and you need more draft capital for players. Miss me with that. Because I tell you what, by the time Dane Brugler, Vosh Lombardi, Foots, Sky, Law Nation, all the great people in this community, including myself that does a really good job, J-Tuck, everyone that does a really great job on this Boss Cowboy Sports, Stargazer, everybody that does a great job on draft. By the time they put out their grades and we get out our grades on how many first rounders we actually have, last year I had 12, others had 9, others had 10. If you're 8-8 or 8-9-1 or 7-9-1 or whatever your record might be towards the end of the season, by the time you pick in the middle of the 1st round, let's say 15-16, there's not going to be 15-16 first round draft grades. So what does that mean? Your pick, if you have a middle in the season, your pick is going to be considered a 2nd round pick anyway, just that you're going to have the fortune to have a 5th year option. And same goes for your other pick with Green Bay. By the time Green Bay picks, they're going to be in the mid to late 20s, might be early 30s, depending on how their season goes. That's for sure considered a 2nd round pick, because when you're picking at that, once you get to the 20s in the draft, that's technically the 2nd round. So basically, you have 2 2nd round picks with 5th year options, but you're just not picking on Friday. And for me, that's fine, because again, look how bad we've been on the interior of your defensive line. Now we have a guy that can alter and change games. You have Donovan Ezra-Rock, who's going to step up and who has been stepping up the past couple of weeks. You know he's going to be a guy. In free agency, Trey Hendrickson is going to be a free agent. The Bengals did not trade or offload Trey Hendrickson, and it's more than likely they're not going to retain him next year. If they do, they do. But if I'm the Dallas Cowboys, I'm looking in free agency, and I'm still trying to add some pieces. And don't forget what Ricky said today. Ricky said that if we didn't get a defensive lineman, our backup plan was to go get a Mika Fitzpatrick. So if I'm the Dallas Cowboys, March, when free agency hits, when the tampering period is allowed, I'm going and I'm calling up Miami for Mika Fitzpatrick. You get Mika Fitzpatrick, you'll fix all three levels of your defense. Prayerfully, Savon Revel comes back and he's able to provide something for you. Prayerfully, with the move of Quinnen Williams, that everybody else in your defensive line steps up. So that's why it makes Deron Bland look decent, look back to an all-pro level if we can potentially get that. But look, the Dallas Cowboys made some really good trades during today. I believe that they won the trade deadline. The Colts did. By far and away, they won the trade deadline. I like what Seattle did. I like what some of the other competitors in the NFL did today. But I feel like for the Dallas Cowboys, you won. Why did you win? Because you traded for impact players that are going to be on your team for multiple years, and you traded for a damn good player. You still have 3 first-round picks. You still have multiple day 2 picks in 2027. You do not pick at all on day 2 next spring. But who cares, because you have 2 first-round picks that are going to be labeled and graded in the second round anyway. So I'm proud of what the Dallas Cowboys did today. Now, I like what they did today. The season, you're on an 8-game stretch, and more than likely seems, hearing from what Jerry Jones has said, he's regretting about how the defense has been displayed and how we had 3 different coordinators in 3 different seasons. So more than likely, it seems like we're going to try and keep around Matt Eberflus. If we're keeping around Matt Eberflus, he has 8 games to turn around and keep his job. I'm proud of what the Dallas Cowboys did today, but I'll be ultimately proud of them if they participate in free agency. You don't need to be the biggest spenders. Just go out there, plug in a few holes. Get another linebacker, get a corner, get a dynamic edge. Either trade for a safety or use your or catapult one of your first-round picks to move up and go get Caleb Downs, a true dynamic safety. Dallas Cowboys have some options now. With the Dallas Cowboys, to put the satin on the panties, as Vosh Lombardi would say, what you need to do, you need to parlay this with a damn good free agency and a damn good draft. Because if you're able to conquer March and April for this football team, you will completely change the face of your defense. You resign Javonte Williams. You resign George Pickens. You'll be just fine going into next season with a damn good defense with some continuity, because you'll have Quinnen Williams, you'll have Logan Wilson. Dima prayerfully can come back and give you something. Savon Revel, hopefully he can show you something. You make a play at safety. You get another edge rusher to pair up with, which you got interior and on exterior with Donovan Ezaraku. Your defense can really change, and you can damn sure compete years forward if, again, the Dallas Cowboys conquer March and April. So that's about it for the video. Hope you guys have a nice day. Stay safe, stay blessed. Bye.